From being selected as the head of a major political party to being accused of insider trading, Nancy Pelosi has been on the watch list of several traders. But why do these investors try to copy her every move? Watch this video to find out.
Should members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to this second one.
Born on March 26, 1940, Nancy Patricia Pelosi is an American politician who served as a Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. Not only that, she was the first woman ever to do so. Moreover, she was a member of the Democratic Party and was strongly against Trump in the recent elections, so much so that she refused to attend his inauguration. Now, the current president is entangled in lots of controversies and scandals, but that doesn't mean that the politicians in the opposing party are super clean. And Nancy has gathered a lot of attention as well, particularly about how she made her wealth. What exactly has she been accused of? It is believed that she made hundreds of millions of dollars in an insider trading scheme. If you don't know what insider trading is, let me give you a quick rundown. Suppose that there's a company that is selling its shares at a low price. Would you invest in it even if you don't have any information on them? Probably not, right? Unless, say, you somehow find out before the public that something big is about to happen that would skyrocket the stock's price. Or suppose that you have already invested in a stock. Since you aren't a day trader, you plan to keep those stocks for yourself for a long time. But what if you find out that there's something controversial about to happen that would plummet the price of that stock? You'd instantly sell that stock, right? Well, that's exactly what both Nancy and her husband Paul have been doing for years. And back in 2024, President Donald Trump even called for criminal charges to be brought up against her for insider trading. Well, Paul sold around 2,000 shares of Visa stock on the 1st July 2024. Just months before, the Department of Justice announced that it would serve the company with an antitrust lawsuit for its monopoly of the debit transaction network. While talking to the press, Trump called her out, saying, "Nancy Pelosi has a little problem because her husband sold Visa stock one day before it was announced Visa is being sued by the Department of Justice." While he was off the mark talking about the timing of the trade, he still raised a really good question. Was it just a lucky hunch? Or did Paul know beforehand what was about to happen? If you ask me, my money is on him, knowing that the DOJ would prosecute Visa, given that he has connections with the people in power. If you still aren't convinced, let me share with you some other shady deals that skyrocketed the couple's wealth. It is reported that in the week leading up to Trump's inauguration, Paul Pelosi made around $38 million worth of stock trades. Talk about making a huge bank, right? The venture capitalist sold $24 million worth of Apple stock as well as $5 million worth of Nvidia shares. Moreover, he also took a new position with Tempus AI, a Chicago-based health tech company that uses AI to process clinical and molecular data. According to the reports, he bought $100,000 worth of call options in Tempus AI. What happened with that stock, you ask? Well, he bought the stock at $32 per share, and a week or so later, the same stock was being traded at around $50 per share, an increase of a massive 60%. So, how did he know that it was prime time to invest in an obscure tech company? In another trade, the husband bought 50 call options in Vistra, an energy company which is based in Texas, at a price of $50 with an expiration date of January 16, 2026. And in just 1 month, the stock gained more than 33%, and right now, it's being valued at over $160 per share. Now, Nancy says that she does not own these stocks and doesn't give her husband any knowledge about the key decisions that would affect the stock market. But as you've probably guessed it by now, that's all a facade.
Despite what you might think about the success of Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, and Cathie Wood, this 81-year-old Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives has become an investing meme because she's made a lot of money with Wall Street bet-style trading.
I mean, take a look at her portfolio, for example. Don't you think it's a bit unusual that she's just incapable of making a bad trade? Whichever stock she buys, it skyrockets. Whichever she sells, it plummets. In June June 2021, they exercised call options in Microsoft or bought their shares in Easy Words. Shortly after that, the company was given a really lucrative contract from the US government. This meant the stock price went up. In 2022, they bought shares of Nvidia just before Congress was set to vote on the CHIPS Act, which provided huge subsidies to the semiconductor industry. If that's not insider trading, I don't know what is. Still not convinced? In the same year, they sold around 30,000 shares in 3 transactions over just 1 week because they learned that the Department of Justice would be filing a lawsuit against the company for engaging in anti-competitive behavior and exercising a monopoly over internet search traffic.
Nancy Pelosi has been the one that the retail community has been following specifically. Every trade she was making inevitably turned out to be such a long-term winner. She bought Tesla, and then there were some laws passed that were pro for the EV market. She bought Google, and then the laws came out that they weren't going to go after big tech. And we've been tracking these performances, and every single stock she's bought in the last 2 years have gone up significantly.
And guess what? 2024 was such a good year for her that she outperformed nearly every hedge fund. According to trading platform Autopilot, Nancy's stock tracker delivered a jaw-dropping 54%. This is not only unbelievably high, but it also sheds light on a much bigger issue. How is it possible for these lawmakers to commit daylight robbery literally? Well, as it turns out, there have been several attempts to push for bills that would prevent people in Congress from owning any stock. In 2012, a law was passed, which was called the Stop Trading on Congressional Knowledge Act, or STOCK Act, to prevent insider trading by members of Congress and their staff. According to it, these people aren't allowed to use non-public information to make a private profit act. But despite clear evidence of it not being followed, Nancy and plenty of other crooks in the Congress haven't been prosecuted. The only way it is being followed is that they are supposed to disclose any trades over $1,000 within 30 to 40 days. But is this transparency really enough? Well, Senator Josh Hawley doesn't think so, and he has always been vocal against lawmakers owning stock. In 2023, he even introduced a bill to ban these politicians from trading stocks. Ironically enough, it was named as Pelosi Act, which stands for Preventing Elected Leaders from Owning Securities and Investments Act.
The voters send members of Congress to Washington. They expect them to do the people's business, not to be day trading on the stock market, not to be using the information that they get from briefings to go and make a quick buck on Wall Street. So here's what my bill does. It says no more trading of stocks by members of Congress. In fact, no more ownership of stocks by members of Congress. If you want to save, fine, put it in a mutual fund like most Americans do.
While talking about the subject, he said, "For too long, politicians in Washington have taken advantage of the economic system they write the rules for, turning profits for themselves at the expense of the American people. Sadly, this bill, along with a few similar ones, never became law because guess who's always been against them? I'm sure you'll get it right. It's literally a joke at this point. One time, a comedian, Alex Strenger, confronted her at a book signing and asked for advice on what stocks to invest in. What happened to him? He was pushed out of the building.
Just have to win the election.
We do. Well, Nancy, listen. What stocks should I buy? Nancy, you're the greatest options trader of all time. I just want to know what stocks I should buy.
I mean, if she and her husband know when and where to put the money, it's only fair that the public should know as well, right? Well, if you are already a trader or want to tap into the market, then boy, do I have some good news for you. Ever heard of that saying, if you can't beat them, join them? Well, the same principle works here. Why bother learning about market patterns and keeping up with current affairs when all you have to do is just follow in the footsteps of supposedly the greatest trader of all time? Lucky for you, people have already thought about that, and there are plenty of Pelosi trackers out there. Just open up one of them and see for yourself what gold mines they have recently invested in. And if you invest with her as well, you'll probably turn a profit for yourself. But that's not me talking, that's her history talking. That's it for this video. Do you guys think that politicians like Nancy are honest and don't make a profit from insider information? Should these politicians be allowed even to own stocks in the first place? And will you be following her investment patterns as well? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more videos like these.